Hello, and thank you for joining us on the Stay Healthy San Diego podcast, brought to you by Parker Physio, aimed at helping you live an enjoyable, fit, and healthy life in and around our community. And now, introducing your host and author of Aging Smarter, Dr. Matt Parker.
Hello everyone and welcome back. It's another episode of Stay Healthy San Diego. I'm incredibly excited to have my guest on today. It is Kindra French. Did I say that right, by the way, Kindra? I nailed it? Okay, perfect. So she's been a San Diego County resident since 1994 and has served in a variety of roles within her community. In 2015, she and her husband Gary opened 101 Mobility of San Diego. Kindra is a certified aging in place specialist and helps make homes safer to allow people to live safely and independently at home. Kindra currently serves as the president of the San Diego chapter of the National Aging in Place Council, serves on the San Diego Fall Prevention Task Force, and is active in the Caregiver Coalition. Kindra hosts a monthly program at the Carlsbad Senior Center called Successful Aging in Place. Her business 101 Mobility of San Diego is a San Diego Live Well partner. Kindra is passionate about cross-cultural missions and has led teams of youth and adult volunteers in Haiti, Uganda, Kenya, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Nicaragua. And in 2020, she plans to return to Guatemala with a youth service team and will lead a group of adults in Israel later this year. Kindra's 4 children, 2 grandchildren, 2 dogs, and a business keep her life full, but she can always find a few minutes to enjoy the sunshine, gather with friends, and dance to whatever the beat is playing. Kindra, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Matt. Thanks so much for inviting me to be a part of what you got going on here.
That is an incredible bio. There's so many things I want to kind of take this. I always like to start at the top. Your story, how you got into 101 Mobility, like how did this progression happen?
Awesome. Yeah, I'd be glad to share. So, prior to doing 101 Mobility, my background's in education, actually in the homeschool community. I was homeschooling my own son and part of a co-op teaching other homeschool kids. My husband's background is manufacturing.
Okay.
He was working for a local company that he expected to retire with. And that company went through a shift, just resulting from changes in the marketplace. Their executive team found themselves in an executive job search, and he was among them. So we took that as an opportunity to say, hey, what could we do together that would really make a difference for people in our community? So we kind of started looking at business opportunities, and we met with a franchise broker. She did an assessment of our gifts, our abilities, as well as our passions and things that we cared about, and matched us with franchise business opportunities. So 101 Mobility is actually a national franchise. We are completely locally, independently owned and operated, but we're part of a larger network that's about 75 independently owned businesses nationwide and in Canada. So for us, that this business, what we do to help people age well and live safely in their homes was really front of heart for us. We were walking with my husband's parents through some decisions in that realm. And I grew up as a caregiver. My mom had a chronic lung condition. So from the time I was old enough to hold a spatula, I was, doing meal prep and grocery shopping and really being a caregiver in the home. And honestly, I think if my mom had access to even one of the solutions that we have, her quality of life and our quality of life as a family would have been so much better. So that's kind of, a big part of the why 101 Mobility is because it allows us to make a difference for people.
I want to elaborate a little bit more. I mean, you're part of all these incredible organizations. You and I met in the Fall Prevention Task Force. What exactly, you mentioned aging in place, and who is it you help exactly?
Awesome. No, that's a great question. So primarily the people I'm meeting with are older adults who are coming to this place where their mobility has changed, their ability to navigate around their home has changed. Maybe it's even their kids who have noticed the changes that they're not quite ready to admit are happening. And then I go into the home. Sometimes people are calling me because they need a specific solution. Hey, my mom has had a fall and now she can't easily navigate the stairs at home. Can you put a lift on the stairs to help us? Other times I'm being called to assess the whole house and just make suggestions for a plan. That's part of our work. I volunteer with the National Aging in Place Council, and our San Diego chapter hosts workshops across the county, and we invite people to come and just learn about the different aspects of planning for aging in place, because most people want to remain in their homes as long as they can, but don't really think through what needs to be in place in order to do that. Whether that's from a home safety standpoint or just planning for what happens if I can no longer drive a car. How do I get where I need to go? Or what happens if my mobility has changed such that I'm becoming more isolated? How do I stay part of a community when my community shrinks? So it covers that kind of holistic approach to aging in place. And of course, my expertise is the area of housing and safety in the home and maintaining mobility in the home.
What kind of, you mentioned people that have had falls, like what kind of people in regards to, they have certain diagnoses that you see more often than not, or certain, is it they've already had a fall and you see them afterwards, or is it some people that are being more proactive? Is it a combination of the two? Like what exactly would you say?
I would say, we see people kind of across that gamut. My hope, and it's part of why I joined the Fall Prevention Task Force where you and I met, my hope is that people will be proactive in addressing their safety needs at home before there's a fall. But unfortunately, most falls happen at home. And they say 1 in 4 adults over the age of 65 will fall every year.
Startling statistic.
Right? Now, thankfully, that statistic's actually improved. A year ago, if we were sitting here, I would have told you 1 in 3. So we're moving in the right direction, which is great. But from a standpoint of the folks I see, sometimes I get a call from somebody who's at rehab. Because they're recovering from a fall, and maybe I'll need to go and assess their yard for a ramp to get them in their front door when they come home. So I'll go to the home, assess the home, and then take a visit to them at the rehab and kind of sketch out and show with pictures, hey, these are the possible solutions for you, and help them figure out what works best.
That's perfect. I want to elaborate more. So the process, so you're contacted, they reach out to your company, you then meet with them, and then just keep walking me through. I just want...
Yeah, okay. So let's say someone's called, and let's say you call me and you say, hey, my grandma is, she's in the hospital. We're expecting her to discharge next week. She's having, trouble with her knees and her balance is off. I really would love to see her have a stair lift. Great. We do an in-home consultation. So I would come to the home, and before I even look at the stairs, I sit down with the person who's going to be using the lift. Wonderful. I really want to make sure I understand their needs and their abilities, and also make sure they understand the equipment that they're asking about, make sure it's the right solution. So if, let's say the stair lift you called about is right for you, once I've determined kind of what the concerns are for that person, then we look at the stairs. And the combination of how your stairs are laid out and the needs of the person will usually land us on which model or which features are going to best meet that person's need. Because we work with several different manufacturers. That way we have a variety of solutions to really customize to help people with what their needs dictate.
Okay, wonderful. So there's a variety of options. You mentioned the stair lift. I'm sure you do more than just stair lifts. So tell me more. What else?
Awesome.
Because I think people struggle with multiple things inside of their home. So besides the stair lift, what other things do you kind of do?
Absolutely. So if it has the word lift in it, I probably do it. Stair lifts are a frequent need that we see because so many homes in San Diego County are multiple level. But we also can help if someone enjoys aquatic therapy, enjoys getting in their pool, but they're maybe concerned that it's really hard to get out of the pool. We can help with a pool lift. It's a chair on a little lever. It kind of cantilevers out, drops you down in the water, and picks you back up.
That's awesome.
So that's a really great solution. We can also help with a wheelchair lift. So when someone is in a wheelchair and they need to access to a second level, we see those often in mobile home communities. We'll go in and look at maybe a ramp, but in order for a ramp to have a safe slope, we're looking at for every inch of rise, you want that ramp to extend about a foot out.
Okay.
So if someone lives in a mobile home and they have an average of 36 inches to their front door, they would need a 36-foot long ramp.
It's a long ramp.
It's a long ramp, and there's often not enough space, so that's where those vertical lifts become really a space-saving solution. And you don't have to be a wheelchair user to take advantage of those lifts. They can be a standing lift as well.
I'm curious because I feel a lot of people, we're kind of in the do-it-yourself society, and there's YouTube, and I hear it all the time here at my office. I'm curious on your end. Are there mistakes that you see that people make trying to improve their own mobility at home, or with their own, trying to figure out their own equipment or their own solutions for that kind of stuff?
Gosh, I'm so glad you asked, because I do get calls from people who purchase equipment online, whether it's a vertical platform lift or a stair lift. They try to have a handyman install it, and sometimes that works out great. But there's enough times that it's off and it doesn't work. I had somebody call me recently, and they had a Mariglide something vertical lift. They'd ordered online, and it was supposed to be easy to install. And they got this thing set, and the platform, when it rose up to, it was about a 10-foot height to the top of this deck, it stopped about 4 inches short of the top of the deck.
That's not good.
No, so you've got a 4-inch step now that you're trying to hurdle over with a wheelchair, and you just spent many thousands of dollars on a piece of equipment. Whereas if they'd had a professional assessment, and that assessment is typically, well, it is free of charge, had someone come out and take measurements, you could get the appropriate rise. And, when you have a piece of equipment professionally installed, we're going to make sure that it's operating properly for you, as opposed to all the glitches that could come along the way when you DIY.
Okay. That's a note taken, so I'm going to tell some people about that because, I hear about that all the time. So just people trying to figure it out on their own.
Actually, do you want one more quick story?
I would love a quick story.
All right, let's talk about ramps for a minute.
Yep.
Because, again, people, I think, don't visually understand how long a ramp needs to be safe and usable. So we get a lot of folks that'll order a little tiny 5-foot ramp online, thinking that that's going to be a great solution, and they plop it down on their stairs, and they've got a skate park. They can drop in grandma, but it's not going to be safe, and it's certainly not going to be easy to push someone up. We got a call from a gal who actually said she had a custom ramp built, and she had 3 steps over a porch. She was 92, and she is the caregiver for her adult son with disabilities.
It's tough.
She called me in desperation because he has dialysis 3 times a week. She didn't have a way to get him out of the house because this ramp that had been constructed for her for a 15-inch rise was a piece of plywood 42 inches long. They just laid a piece of plywood over the steps.
Yikes.
I don't even want to know what they charged her for it. So we were able to put in a ramp of appropriate length so she could easily help her son get to his appointments, and all is well.
That is incredible. I just, that's crazy that ramp was installed and like how dangerous that was, but you're able to come in and save the day essentially.
Yeah, that was shocking to me that someone, really took advantage of her lack of knowledge. And maybe the contractor who built it didn't have that knowledge himself. I don't know. So
I'm curious, going back to your background here, the Carlsbad Senior Center, you have a successful aging in place program that you host. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, super fun. Again, through the National Aging in Place Council, I have access to a team of professionals who are experts in their fields all around the areas of aging in place. And so the last Tuesday of every month at 10:30 in the morning, I'm at the Carlsbad Senior Center. Typically, I'm just the hostess, introducing our speaker, but I'm always there and available to answer people's questions. if, the topic that is being presented on is, if there's a different need, I can always help guide them toward the right resources. And it's just a great opportunity for me to learn more about the solutions that are available for people, because I'm there as a learner as well as a leader. And then it's been a really great resource for our community.
And just to reiterate, that's a free resource that
It
anyone
is
can come to.
absolutely free.
Do they need to register? Can they just show up to the Carlsbad Senior Center?
They
How does that
can
all work?
just show up.
Last
the
Tuesday?
room accommodates last Tuesday of every month
Gotcha.
at 10:30, and the room that we're in is the activities room, and it accommodates up to 70 people. So for a mid-morning class, we can fit a few people in there.
That's okay. We're going to have that in the show notes, by the way, for all those that are listening. I then want to move into these cross-cultural missions that you did. Where did that come from? And what is that through the church, or how do you do all that?
So fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's my favorite topic. You want me to overtalk? Here we go.
Yeah. Always.
So, I have always been just really fascinated by people of other cultures, and just recognizing the similarities and the differences between us and people who are growing up in other parts of the world. And so I've had opportunities through my church. I go to Daybreak Church, and I'm part of our missions team. And so I've had many opportunities to travel to different parts of the world. My role in short-term missions is really to support people who are in the field long-term, because they're the boots on the ground full-time. And, if you've ever talked to anybody who's done short-term missions, you're not going to change the world in a week. What you're going to do is have an opportunity to breathe a little life into the full-time workers, maybe bring them some encouragement, maybe lift their load a little bit. So I really see my role in short-term missions as a support system for the people who are serving full-time, whether that's medical practitioners, pastors, just people who are serving underserved people across the world.
I love that because I've heard people going on short-term missions, but the way you described it as support team, I've never heard that before. It's absolutely fascinating.
It's so important, and it's so much fun.
Incredible. Kindra, where can we find you if people want to find out more about you, more about one-on-one mobility? Where do we go?
Awesome.
What's the next step?
Yeah, so if you or a loved one are in need of a solution for your home, or even just want to have the safety of your home explored, checked out, we can do a home safety assessment. I can also guide you to home safety professionals that is their primary role, is to do complete home safety assessments. You can reach us at 858-800-2820, or you can go to our website at 101mobility.com/San Diego. There is a web form that folks can complete and put in your contact information. We can reach out to you. There's also a phone number listed. You can click and call. If you didn't have a pen handy, didn't write it down, I'll repeat it again. 858-800-2820.
And no worries, audience, as well. There's going to be inside the show notes. You'll have all the links, all the phone numbers, so you can contact Ms. Kindra. I want to move into more fun stuff now. So I always end this podcast with the same two questions. You said you have 4 kids and 2 grandkids?
Yep.
Holy cow. So what are the ages of the kids? So we have a little background. So oldest and youngest?
2 daughters, 2 sons.
Okay.
Oldest is 29 and holding.
Okay.
Which is weird because I was just 29 a minute ago. I turned 50 this year, people. It's a crazy world.
Congratulations, by the way. So half-century marker. So,
right?
Yeah.
So my 29-year-old is a single mom with 2 lovely kids who are 7 and 4. And we all live together in a multi-generational home, along with my youngest son, who just turned 18. He's a senior in high school.
Incredible.
I also have a son and a daughter who are in their 20s as well. Okay. My daughter's getting married this fall.
Holy cow,
yes.
You got your hands full. So
exciting. And my son is, he's actually my stepson.
Okay.
We've got a package deal.
Gotcha.
He is in the Army, and he's part of their Army Warrior Fitness program.
Oh, wow.
So his job in the military is to work out, get stronger, and help other people to recognize the importance of physical fitness.
That It's an awesome job.
Yeah, dude's a rock star.
Awesome job. I'm going to push it out to these last two questions. Your favorite activity you enjoy in San Diego?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I love to dance.
Okay, where do you like? You mentioned that. Where do you like to dance?
Pretty much anywhere that music is playing.
Okay.
I don't care if there's actually a dance floor.
Is it tango? Is it salsa? Is it like techno music? Or what is it?
Back in the day, there was this resurgence of swing dance.
Okay.
So that's my sweet spot.
Okay.
I love me some Lindy Hop. If you're familiar with that, jitterbug swing, West Coast swing, but pretty much anything. If there's music playing, I'm on the floor.
Is there a specific place you go do this at?
Like I said, wherever. The city of Carlsbad, their summer jazz concerts are so much fun. They're outdoors, great venue. Please don't cancel them. Yeah. Hopefully this virus thing has run its course by then.
Fingers crossed. So.
But I love those summer concerts. They're so fun.
Got it. And your favorite restaurant, hidden gem, hole in the wall that you like to go eat at?
Man, I love food.
Yeah, same. My guilty pleasure, food.
Yeah, I love Thai food.
Okay.
Favorite place? There's so many. Actually, there's a really good place down the street from here. Mm-hmm. It's a Peruvian restaurant called Quero, Quero.
I know exactly what that says. That's on the one-on-one in
Encinitas. And they have this spicy calamari that's absolutely phenomenal. Love it, love it, love it.
Spicy calamari.
Yep.
Is it keto?
Yeah.
Something
however
like
it's pronounced.
Peruvian. So, okay. It's great to know. And Kindra, is there anything else you want to leave with the audience before we wrap up the interview?
Oh gosh, well I could close with my tagline.
Okay, fire away.
At 101 Mobility, we help you to enjoy life, not limits.
Kindra, thanks so much for being on today. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Stay Healthy San Diego podcast brought to you by Parker Physio. If your pain is preventing you from staying healthy and active, and you'd like to avoid surgery, painkillers, or just want to get back to doing the things you love in and around San Diego, we offer both a free ebook and free over-the-phone consultation to help you figure out the root cause of your pain and the next best steps for resolving it. Find our ebooks online at parkerphysio.com/health-tips. There you'll find ebooks for topics such as low back pain, sciatica, shoulder pain, knee pain, and neck pain. These quick-to-read reports will provide you with expert tips, tricks, and exercises to help solve your pain from the comfort of your own home. Just visit parkerphysio.com/health-tips to download your ebook and have it delivered directly to your inbox. We also offer free, no-obligation telephone consultations with a doctor of physical therapy to residents of San Diego. Just call us at 858-900-3361 or visit us at parkerphysio.com and click the Talk to a PT on the phone button. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Stay Healthy San Diego podcast.